Dennis Wilder is the managing director for the Initiative for U.S.-China Dialogue on Global Issues at Georgetown University, where he also serves as an assistant professor of practice in Asian Studies in the School of Foreign Service. He has had a long career in the China field, serving as the National Security Council's director for China from 2004 to 2005, and then as the NSC Special Assistant to the President and Senior Director for East Asian Affairs from 2005 to 2009. During the Obama administration, Wilder served as senior editor of the President's Daily Brief, and later as the CIA's Deputy Assistant Director for East Asia and the Pacific. He recently gave a talk at the U.S.-China Business Council on the strategic relationship between the United States and China, and he took a moment to share his thoughts with us.
In all likelihood, President Trump and President Xi at Mar-a-Lago late in March will sign an agreement that will at least ease, if not end, the trade war. However, that does not mean that the tensions we have seen in U.S.-China relations over what is perceived by the Trump administration to be predatory Chinese policies and national security threats will end. In fact, I would argue that the Trump administration has made some fundamental decisions on the national security front to confront China in a whole-of-government approach. That means that the kinds of tension that we have seen with China will only rise during the rest of the Trump administration. The Trump administration takes a whole-of-government approach to dealing what they see as a China that is aggressively moving out into the world, is aggressively going after American technologies, is conducting espionage, and in general simply not playing by the international liberal order that the United States and its allies created after World War II. The Chinese are definitely understanding that the Trump administration has made this kind of decision. They are seeing it affecting the travel of Chinese officials to the United States. They are seeing it in the way the United States is working with its allies to try and limit, for example, Chinese corporations like Huawei and ZTE from being involved in the 5G technology standards. And so I think that the mistrust between Washington and Beijing is deepening. And I worry that if we had another crisis with the Chinese, during my career, I have seen many crises between the United States and China, the Tiananmen massacre being one of them, the EP3 crisis, the Belgrade bombing crisis, the Taiwan Strait crisis of 94 and 95, and the financial crisis of 2008. In all those cases, we had a bedrock of understanding, of relationships to work off of to get ourselves through that crisis. I worry today that with the level of mistrust that now exists between the Trump administration and Chinese leadership, we will have much more difficult time handling such a crisis, getting ourselves through such a crisis. And so I think we need to think hard about whether here in the United States we are overreacting to China's activities, be they in the South China Sea or in the Belt and Road Initiative or Huawei Corporation. Are we today overreacting in a way that will make it difficult for us to find an equilibrium in the U.S.-China relationship? I am not saying that China has not acted in ways that are detrimental to the United States, detrimental to U.S. industry, and in some ways threaten U.S. national security. But what I am saying is that we need a relationship with China that is workable. And if we continue too far down the path that the Trump administration has already taken in the national security realm, we may find ourselves at a point where we are back in the kind of relationship with China that we had with the Soviet Union. And I don't think that's a good thing for either country.